Hello class, I'm Demetra Peoples. Welcome back. I'm completing my placement with Family Services. Today I will be doing my video on mandated reporting. As you can know, I'm tired. Probably can tell by the hyperness in my voice. But my agency complies with the state of Alabama regarding being a mandated reporter. And this is just a little paper here that my agency has to follow. And I was given this as part of my internship assignment as well from my field placement instructor. But it basically says that the following institutions and persons are required by law to report suspected child abuse or elderly abuse or neglect under a penalty of misdemeanor, fine, or sentence. All hospitals, clinics, sanitariums, doctors, physicians, surgeons, medical examiners, coroners, dentists, osteopaths, optometricians, chiropractors, physicians, physical therapists, nurses, public and private K through 12 employees, school teachers and officials, peace officers, law enforcement officials, pharmacists, social workers, daycare workers or employees, mental health professionals, employees of public and private institutions of post-secondary and higher education, members of the clergy, and it says as defined in Rule 505 of the Alabama Rule of Evidence Commission, ministers, pastors, priests, rabbi, or practitioners, or any bona fide established church or religious organization, or any person called upon to render aid or medical assistance to any child or adult where suspected abuse or neglect is suspected. So my agency complies with the code was section code 2614 through 1, and that's the written report of suspected child abuse and elderly abuse in the state of Alabama. This is just a little paper that my field instructor gave me as a requirement for my placement, and basically it just says what's the requirements for a mandated reporter. And as a social worker, I really wouldn't have a problem reporting an incident. But if I was kind of unsure, I would always go to my supervisor. One of the questions that from this assignment asks, what would be my biggest challenge in reporting a child abuse or neglect? And what will hold me back? Well, I wouldn't have a problem reporting, but I recently had a situation where my teenage son, he shared some information about one of his close friends who were being abused by their mother. And it put me in an awkward position because this person knows that I'm a social worker, and in the past, I've always had a reputation of reporting things. And I really didn't, I hate he had to tell me that. I wish he would have told the pastor, my husband, or someone instead of me. But since he told me that, as a social worker, I had an obligation to report that. But in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, I know this lady, she's going to know that it's me, and I see her, and I'm going to feel kind of awkward because I know what's going on in her home. But I thought about it. I said, would I rather protect that child or protect a friendship? So I had to make that report because that child was more important than our friendship. And plus, if something would have happened to that child and I knew about it, I would have been responsible. And also, I couldn't have lived with myself if I knew that I had that type of information, which was nothing really bad, but this person was being physically abused by her mother, and I had to report it. Anyway, but I did still feel awkward, and I kind of like wanted my husband to do it because this person knows me, and she knows I'm a social worker too, so she probably will think that it was me because I have had a reputation of making some reports, even though you can be anonymous, but sometimes people just assume that I'm the person. Even in my family, my mother wouldn't even share certain things with me because she was afraid that I would tell. But I just have to do what's right. My question to the class, what experience have you had as being a mandated reporter? Thank you.